Hey, so an incredible RNC. I was there. So much positive feedback, so much momentum coming off of that. We're looking at how things have changed in the last couple of weeks. There's been a Kamala Harris honeymoon going on with the establishment media. And I wish you could contrast for us what's going on the ground with the RNC, how you're getting people out there to vote, talking to voters, as there's a lot going on with the establishment media right now to try to change the perception of the vice president that we've known over the past 3 years.
Yeah, it's quite a political split screen that we're watching right now, because when you watch President Trump and his tour across the country, we were just up in Minnesota. We had to turn away more people than we could allow into the building. When we see J.D. Vance out in Arizona and Nevada and other places where he's traveling around the country with record, capacity crowds that are showing up to hear him. And the Republican Party is completely united. And we are the only party right now that is trying to unite the entire country because we're talking about the issues that they care about. We're talking about the border. Kamala Harris says the borders are allowing 10 million illegal immigrants to come across and bringing in the scourge of migrant crime and fentanyl. We talk about her being the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Act that really truly brought about $1.9 trillion spending bill that unleashed inflation across America, raised housing prices, gasoline prices, and grocery prices. Talk about her weakness on the national, international stage as well. So right now, we are hitting our marks. Donald Trump is hitting his marks everywhere he goes. And you saw that at the convention, 4 nights in a row, where we were talking directly to the American people about the issues that they care about and the solutions that we are putting on the table. Donald Trump is the only candidate who's going to be able to unite this country. He's going to secure the southern border, secure our economy, and secure a standing in the world.
Well, we certainly have seen President Trump go where other candidates refused to go. He accepted an invitation to attend the National Association of Black Journalists event yesterday in Chicago. He made a lot of news there. What's the RNC's reaction to some of that dialogue that took place? There's certainly some backlash from the left, from the media, in terms of how he responded to some of those questions.
Well, look, I think it's terribly important that we have a former president who has done events in the Bronx, in the downtown Philadelphia. He has been to Detroit. Then he goes to this event in Chicago and takes the tough questions. You have to ask yourself, where was Kamala Harris? If there was ever an event for her, this would have been it. And she was not there. She will not talk to the press. She will not take any tough questions. Donald Trump is communicating directly to every American. He's reaching out to every single community, and I think it's going to pay off. I mean, we are starting to see already massive shifts in Hispanic voters and black voters and Asian American voters that are coming from the Democratic Party and supporting Donald Trump 20 points higher than they did back in 2020, because he is listening to them and cares about the issues that they care about.
Michael, how did we get to a place where you look at the past 3 years, the decline of this country that President Trump often speaks about in a lot of his rallies? How did we get to a place, and it's also reflected in the polling, where the national conversation, instead of being about the issues, has become about race? What's your take on that?
Well, I think that's what the Democratic Party wants to talk about. I think that's what Kamala Harris wants to talk about. I think that's what the national media wants to talk about. What Donald Trump wants to talk about is how to make America better for every American family. How are we going to lift this economy up so that it can lift every family up? How are we going to protect our southern border? How are we going to shut down this immigrant invasion that we have seen coming across into Texas and Arizona? What is it that we're going to do on the world stage? Under Donald Trump, China was in check, Russia was in check, and we didn't have the attacks in the Middle East that we're watching right now. The whole Middle East is really on fire. So we want to get back to a strong America. I think the entire country does. And those are the issues that the voters care about. So that's what we're going to continue to talk about.